Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our next episode of our playthrough of Approaching Dawn, the Witching Hour. Now, we're going to get on to our next turns pretty quickly, but I just wanted to give you a quick update on the game status and some of my little minor disclaimers on this game. This game, while it is cooperative, it is not is not intended for solo play. So some of the elements that you see in this that I'm playing through don't have the same impact as if you were playing with multiple players. There's some incredibly cool features that come along with the game that have to do with the interaction of the players with each other. And while I'm managing that, you're seeing that. You're not seeing the turmoil that goes along with that when you're actually playing with other people. So I want to raise that. Also, I want you to know that we did take enough damage to empty out our first locus on our pentagram. That's bad. We still have some good spells left. We have a good big spell open, but I don't know that we're going to take it, or actually it's an artifact. And we have our first familiar on the board, which is pretty neat. I'm going to go over the status of the characters real quick, and then we're going to get into our third and next to final turn. So Ward up here, he's got 6 corruption on him right now, and all but one of his gates are sigils are open, and that's really bad. And then right next to him down here we have Diane. She's got 6 corruption as well. She's going to get an extra card on her next draw, which is going to be coming soon, and all of her sigils are open. And then our character, Nancy, still has this big bad hate demon in front of her. It would do more damage if we were playing not the basic scenario, because its special abilities would take effect. But we did get Black Adder out, which will be able to perhaps stop this demon in the next turn. Okay, and she's only got she's got 5 corruption on her, and all her sigils are open. Remember, 15 corruption, we lose the game. Emptying out the locus in the spell decks loses the game. And more likely we're going to lose from corruption and demons than the locus, but that's okay. Let's see how it goes. Let's get on to our next turn. Moving back to the phase reference sheet, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to advance the hour, and everybody's going to take corruption equal to the hour that we are advancing to. So remember, in this training day scenario, we only need to survive 4 hours. We are about to hit hour 3. And that means that everybody out there is going to take 3 additional corruption. I'm going to give that to them. And there is their 3 corruption. So each of our guys is going to get that, and then we're going to have to mitigate that as we go. That kind of sucks. And let's go on to the acquire spells phase. So starting with our leader, we have a number of things that we can acquire this turn. The good news about demons coming out is they do gobble up some of your corruption back as they come to attack you. But if we can't get rid of them, then that's bad. So this 2-point corruption card right here, well, this will cost us 2. Rather, it has 2 abilities. It has Shifting Gate. It has an insight ability, which we haven't used any of yet. Move a demon you are facing to an adjacent witch. Could be useful. And it also does Moonlight, which gives us 1 white magic. So we might pick that up. It's also the Moonstone, which goes in front of you, counts as part of your set, but goes in front of you and gives you automatically 1 white magic. That's pretty good, but that would cost us 3. Then the 4 is, we still have Nancy's Soul Link on there, so we can't do anything with that. We can, though, get this 5 cost one, which is rough. The Sight Stone, it says once per acquire spells phase, choose a locus, look at the top 3 spells of the locus, and return in any order. That gives us some ability to control our spells, and then this Beacon of Light is really powerful. But man, we're with our ability to only have 15 corruption on us at a time. Before losing, we got to be very careful. I don't think we'll be taking that card. Okay, so we do need to acquire some spells, though. So I think the first thing we're going to do is that Diane is absolutely going to acquire this spell. She will put that on the top of her deck. And she's going to have to shuffle in a minute. She's basically out, which means that she will take an additional 2 corruption. That actually puts her at, well, what we're going to do is we're going to get, I'll show you what we're going to do there for that, because there's some different denominations. There's these big octagons, which are 10s. So right now she is at 11 corruption, and then that is all she's going to do. Then we're going to flip that over, and ooh, we get another familiar. That's good, so we know who wants that. Oh, this one costs nothing, too. It's Eric the Elfling, Once per insight phase, another witch of your choice draws a card. Well, I already had a card lined up for our guy Ward. He is going to pick this one up. It's going to cost him 3. So we're going to basically just take away 2 more and add 5 corruption to him. Boom. That'll give him, now he's at 12. That's not good, but we're going to take this Moonstone. That will go on top of his deck, which is currently empty. He's going to have to shuffle. And then that will expose another one of these cards. Now, this says, oh, another familiar, Alec the Face Soldier. Pretty cool looking dude. When you send the familiar to the ether to bind a demon, banish the demon instead. That is really powerful, and he has, it doesn't provide any magic, but he would cost us 3 corruption. And then Nancy Stitch. So Nancy, she's definitely going to take one of these 2 guys. Kind of like this guy because he can actually banish a demon automatically. So I think we're going to take him. It is going to cost her 3 corruption. And that's okay, because I think we're okay with that. So basically, I'm going to take, again, 2 corruption back, give her another 5-er, which means that she has quite a bit of corruption. Everybody has quite a bit of corruption after that phase, and we're going to flip over another one. But she got another familiar, and that's very, very important to her, because she has to move familiars to close out her secret, and we do not want to get to the end of the game and have to deal with the final hour of retribution. Really bad. Okay, so that is going to be the acquire spells phase. Now we're going to go on to the summon demons phase, where the first thing we're going to do is unbind all demons. Nobody's bound, so we don't have to worry about that. And then starting with the Coven Leader, we're going to uncover 3 lurking demons. So let's do that for our Coven Leader, Diane Ur. Normally you'd put the lurking demons up in here, but I'm putting them on the board next to the player so you can see who they're affecting. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the first one out and see what it is. It is Saz, a 5-point, so she'll definitely acquire him because all her sigils are open. So she's getting him. She's going to get him for sure. No sigils, only 1 point, 1 corruption. And, oh, the big guy comes out 10. She does have 10. She has 11. And he has to have all of them open, and he does. Look at that, 12 corruption and 4. We got to get rid of this guy this turn. However, it's going to eat 10, 11. All of the corruption that she had is now gone because the demons that are attacking her have consumed it, but they are also staying with her. That is not good. Oh, look at your rough turn. Well, I said that last turn. We've managed it pretty well. We'll see how this goes. Okay, next up is Ward. He too has 12, but does have one of his sigils closed. And so here's something funny. The one sigil that's closed, this guy has it. So he's going to go away. He's not going to stay with him. This guy will stay there, this vile rat. He's going to stay there. He's not too tough, though. I think we can get rid of him pretty quickly. And then last but not least, Impy Cheston, 1 point, no sigils. He's going to stay there, too. He cannot be bound. He can only be banished. That's what that red symbol means. I'll show that up close so you can see what I'm talking about. So this little pugly guy can only be banished. Okay. And then that's it for him. So basically we're going to have one. Now we're going to go down to Nancy. First thing we look at is this guy who was left over from our guy Ward is going to, the treacherous Nat is going to join her because all her sigils are open. Then we're going to draw one more here, the Irenis Funkel. Okay, Irenis Funbuncle. Okay, that's who that is. I guess it's this crazy looking thing. These two cannot be bound either. That is really bad. Again, 0, so not going to eat. Oh, I forgot to eat corruption from. He only took 3 of the corruption from Ward. The demons, they were only worth 3 less corruption. So here we are. But she is going to. She's got these 2 guys. Neither of them are going to consume any of her current corruption, but they are going to stay with her. And then we get one more. Let's see what he is. The Therawhip. It is going to stay with her as well, and it does actually consume 1 of her corruption. So those were actually not good draws for us. But that is going to be the summons phase. So we have summoned all the demons. Nobody has 15 corruption in this case, and we are okay. Now, insight, we're going to go to the insight phase where we draw our cards. I'm going to have to shuffle up some decks, so let me do that, then we'll draw our cards. And of course, we're going to look at Nancy Stitch's cards first. Okay, well, we know the first card is, because it's the one she bought, it's going to be this guy here. Here, we'll put these right here for right now. Then this one, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, let's see. She's got a lot she has to do here. As you can see, she's got these pretty nasty. Now she's going to be able to bind him with this guy. But we don't have a ton of black magic available to us, as you can see. We do get our familiar that we're going to get to put out. We're going to move this familiar, actually. Probably up to ward. Well, I think we're going to move Blackadder to another witch. That happens in this turn, I believe. Let me just check the insight. Yeah, so first things, we draw 5 cards. We choose the orientation of the cards, and then we move a familiar. Okay, so we're going to choose the orientation of our cards. She's definitely going to... We just got to play all of them. We just got to choose which way we're going to go. Well, these do have lightning bolts, so I'm definitely going to keep this one up to heal an adjacent witch some corruption, which will be ward. And then we're going to keep all these for black magic, which means that Diane's going to get him. But that's okay, because Diane can take the hits on that right now. So that is our orientation. And then she says, I'm going to move this familiar over to ward. Over to Diane. She's moving the familiar, her Blackadder over to Diane. Okay, so she moved the familiar, and then the last thing we do in that is we're going to reveal any of the insight ones, but we don't have to worry about that right now. I got to draw the other guy's cards, and I'll come right back. Okay, so now now that I've done that, I've picked everybody's cards. We're going to move to the corruption phase. Now remember, Diane got 6 cards this turn because she last turn she had one that said draw an extra card the next turn, so that's what we got. Anyway, we finished the insight phase. We have not, I don't think, I'm just going to flip through the cards again. I don't believe we have any insight. Nope, no insight abilities that are going to tick off here before we move on. No. Okay, we are good. And then we are going to move on to the corruption phase. All players reveal their hands at the same time. Add corruption to players to the left's mat to your... Yeah, to... and they open sigils. Okay. So all our sigils are closed right now. I forgot to close all the sigils after we summon the demons. But that's okay, because they're almost all probably going to open up again. Let's see what happens there. So we'll start with, it doesn't really matter. They're simultaneous. So we're not going to play the cards yet. We're going to just reveal them. So we're going to give Diane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corruption. That's not awful because she had none. That's, I'm looking for a big cube. There's her 5. That's going to go on Diane from our person Nancy. And then from a sigils perspective, she's going to open up all of them based on the stuff that she's gotten, because we're going to play this card here that heals somebody, which will be ward. Okay, and then we're going to do this one. We got 1, 2, 3 total. Now she was really careful because she didn't want ward to go over corruption. So she only played 3, and then I'll look at his sigils next. But he goes up. I'll just take 2 back from ward and give him another 5. So he's actually at 12 again already, and it's not even that part of the turn yet. And then he's going to give to... and again, we had to be very careful with Nancy. So ward only played 3 as well. That is something. So we're going to do that. We're going to just add 3 to her. She's at 13. It shows you how carefully we have to manage our corruption with these witches. So she gets 3 more, putting her at 13 to the 15 that we would need to lose. That's bad. So we did corruptions. Oh, I got to do sigils. I didn't do them for ward yet. So we're going to first go 1. Looks like all of them are opening. Yep, all of them are opening because of the spells we chose to take. And then for ward, let's see, what did ward open up? May not be all of them with ward. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to open, so we're going to open this one. Let me go to the table. This one for sure. Definitely opening this one. This one, and this one. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Good job. Okay, so she's got 2 sigils that are not open yet. And that is going to be the... Now, okay, now we're going to remove corruption from our mats for our white magic, which is good. We did get quite a bit of white magic. So let's start with Diane. Well, we're on. Yeah, let's start with Diane. Okay, so Diane actually generated 1 white magic, which means she will have 4 total corruption on her right now. She's in good shape, actually, from a corruption standpoint. She did pretty well, our Coven Leader, but she still has 4 corruption on her. That's not terrible. Now remember, you heal this on yourself, not on your it says remove, yes, remove corruption from your mat equal to your white magic. So for Nancy, it'll be 1. We'll remove 1 corruption, and then I think there's a bit for Ward too. We got 1, 2 for Ward that we're going to remove from the white magic sigils, or white magic he used. So he's back down to 10, still in a rough spot. Okay, and that is the corruption phase. Now we go to the battle phase. We start with the Coven Leader and go clockwise. Each player takes the following steps. We're going to add white magic to the white magic pool. We're going to bind and banish demons, and we're going to use our effects. So let's start with our girl. She's got 1. So, oh wait, I picked up one of her demons. 1 white magic that goes into the pool. So there's that. That's going to go into the white magic pool to be used. Then we're going to bind and banish demons. Well, first off, she is going to absolutely use Blackadder to bind this guy. She can't get rid of him. He's 7, or 10 rather, to 7 and 10. So basically, he's going to go there. It says once per battle phase, have a witch to your left take 2 corruption to bind a demon in front of you. And that's why she definitely didn't want to give Ward too much. Okay, so she's going to give Ward 2 more. That puts him at 12 again. But and then our familiar heads off to the ether. Actually, I don't know. Is that true? Well, this one seems different to me. It says once per battle. Like the other ones don't say that. It says once per insight phase, another witch of yours can choose to draw a card. But we're using him to bind, and I don't think that counts as the typical binding. I think it's a special ability. I'm going to look that up. But anyway, regardless of that, for now he's bound. We have bound him. We can't banish him though. And then we're going to, we do have 3 black magic. And I'm looking to see, we have a couple of these symbols, so we're going to get to activate both of these. The first one we're going to activate is this banish a demon with 3 or less facing an adjacent witch. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is banish, I'm looking for the one that's going to do the worst damage to us that can be banished. Needs 3 or less. I think we're going to banish one of Nancy's guys because Ward can take care of his own guy. Nancy, we can banish this one. Yeah, we can banish this one from her. It doesn't do anything, and we're not using their special ability, so it's not very effective. You know what? We can banish this one. We're going to banish the Throw It because it would get a card and give us 2 corruption. So we're going to banish that guy. He is gone, and that was using Diane's special action here. Okay, and then the other special action we're going to take is right here. Draw an extra card this hour. So I'm just going to leave this token on her for that purpose. Now we're going to do 3. We have 3 black magic, and with that we are going to bind. We're going to banish this fellow here. Actually, we're not. We're going to bind Saz because he's going to do 9 corruption. We can't have that. So we're going to bind Saz, and that is going to be her entire turn. So we'll leave that out right there, and then we'll move on to Ward. So she bound those 2 guys. That's not great. We can't kill them, but we were able to stop them from devastating us, basically, because that would have been 9 corruption. That would have been the end of the game. Okay, let's move on to Ward. So Ward is going to be able to get rid of his little demon there, the 4.1, but he wants to get rid of the 3.1 actually. So the first thing he's going to do is going to put that down. That is our Moonstone, and it does generate white magic for the pools. So that's another point of white magic from that Moonstone artifact. He also generates another one because of the Sunstrike. So there's now 3 white magic in there. He can actually use that to try and get rid of somebody else's demon potentially. And we might do that. We'll see. But he's also got this. You may use white magic to banish a demon any hour. So we can get any demon with white magic right now. That's pretty good. And then he's got 4 of his own, no specials, except this lightning bolt, which didn't help. So on the 4 that he's got, he's going to banish the Vile Rat, because the Vile Rat takes a card and does 3 damage. So he used 3 of the 4 to banish that. Unfortunately, the other one's just wasted. It doesn't do anything. For him, I probably should have used it as white magic. I was thinking I was going to banish this guy, but I realized he doesn't do anything, and since his special ability is not active, he just sits there. He's just anchor weight. But that does end the stuff that Ward is going to do this turn. Okay, then we got our girl Nancy. Nancy has quite a bit she's going to be able to do. So first off, she's got a 2, 4, 5 corruption, black magic available to do this. She cannot get the hate demon out of there yet. It would require 6 for her, but she can get the treacherous gnat or this person. So, but what she's also going to play her Fey Folk soldier, or Elec, the Fey soldier. It says when you send this familiar to the ether to bind a demon, banish it instead. That's pretty good. So that's why I said I don't think we use Blackadder that way. I think that's his special ability to add corruption and bind, as opposed to bind and then go to the ether. Okay, then we got Grey Stitch. We're going to heal up to, and we do have a bonus for that. We're going to get 1 white magic in the pool, so then there's 4 white magic in the pool. She's going to use it, by the way. Then we're going to heal up Ward 3 corruptions. So we're going to get rid of a 5. We're going to add 2 back to him. That puts him at now 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as opposed to 12. That's pretty good. Okay, and that means that those are... Now we still have to banish some of her stuff. We're going to banish this treacherous gnat. We can't banish... We don't have enough to banish this demon, but we can banish the gnat. So that's going to go away. Gone. We could have used 3 of that to get rid of this one, but we're going to leave that alone because we're going to use the white magic, I think, to bind this demon. I think we can do that. That says we can use bind or banish demons facing other witches. Yeah, with the white magic. Okay, so we can do that, and I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to use 3 of the 4 white magic in the pool to bind this demon. I was thinking of actually killing this one, but this one takes 3 cards, as opposed to just adding 3 corruption to Diane, who doesn't have a lot of corruption. So we're going to bind this demon. Man, kind of a crazy turn for us there, right? But that is going to mark the end of it, so we can perform any scene actions. We don't have any at this point. We know what we need to do. This is the basic training one, so it's not a big deal. Okay, and that's going to be the end of the battle phase. So now we're going to perform the attacks back on our characters. Let's see what happens there. Okay, so the Impy Cheston right here, he doesn't do anything. If his special ability was in effect, it would have an impact. But so he doesn't actually have any impact on us at all. That's Ward. Now on Diane, we do have this demonic roach, which is going to add 3 corruption to Diane. I'm just going to take 2 away from her and give her a 5 corruption. There she is back. Now she's up to 7, so she's taken a bit of a corruption hit, and we're going to lose a card. Fortunately, we're going to lose Eric the Elfling. That sucks. That one goes away. We're going to flip this one up for next turn. So we lost it from there. Now we're going to move on to the last one. Again, because this is a training scenario, we're not worried about these special abilities, so this one is just an anchor weight as well. It doesn't do anything. The Erinus Funbunkle. Now, if that wasn't the case, it says during the Insights phase, discard a card whenever you gain a spell. Take 1 corruption. So there's a couple of negative effects to her if we were playing the next scenario where we'd be using all the abilities. Okay, so that's it. We actually weathered that storm pretty good. We're going to get to the end of this because it is a training scenario, right? So we're at the end of the hour. Now, I also have the advantage of knowing the cards, kind of, even though I'm picking ours first. The Coven Leader may expend any remaining white magic from the pool. There's 1. We're not going to expend it. We're going to discard our hands, so all of the cards get discarded. And I have now done that. Now, the artifacts and the familiars stay out. They do not get discarded. We're going to advance and reveal secrets. Well, we got a lot going on here with that. So, we're going to talk about Ward first. Ward had a really easy one. In fact, Ward and Diane had the same one. It says, no secret, you stayed strong. Progression. You may add 1 corruption to this card at the end of any hour when there are not already 3 on this card. Resolution. You may reveal this secret at the end of the hour, at the end of hour 4, or at the end of any later hour. So I just wanted to show you that because basically we do get to activate it again. And so we take a corruption and put it on there. There's now 3 on there. We're not going to add any more. And on Diane's, she did also progress hers. That's going to add 3. And we know that we did progress Nancy's because Nancy's says you may add 1 corruptions card at the end of each hour where you passed a familiar to another witch. We actually did that, and we're going to do it again next turn to complete her task. So we're going to be okay on our secrets, I think. So I took a corruption off of each one of them to put them on their secrets. That means that all of these are now open. That is awesome. So we have access to every spell. We also have access, now he's 4 points, but we do have access to Will Trickster, a familiar. He doesn't have any special abilities. He can just, bind somebody and go to the ether as his ability. And that is going to pretty much mark the end of our third turn. We got one more turn to go in this training day scenario. We have to survive 4 hours. We're on hour 3. I think we're going to survive. We'll see what happens next turn. We do have some nasty demons we got to keep trying to bind and keep at bay. And we can't take a lot more spells, but I think we're okay, guys. So anyway, that is the end of the round. That is the end of the turn. Please let me know if I made any errors. This game is entirely too complicated to run 3 different players by one person, because that's not the way it's designed to go. So I want to say that as you see me struggling to go, okay, this card, that card. There's a lot of interaction, but when you're playing the game with other people, you're only worrying about that set of cards you have. You don't even know what the other players have, which is cool. And I'm going to point out that completely avoids the alpha player syndrome, which can happen in solo or happen in cooperative games quite often. So anyway, that is the end of the turn, and that is going to be the end of this round. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying my demonstration playthrough of Approaching Dawn, The Witching Hour. And I'll leave you with, I got some votes and on what to play next. So my patrons so far have voted for The Ruin of Thandar, and my subscribers have voted for both The Ruin of Thandar and First Martians so far, the feedback I've gotten. So I think that at this point, unless something changes dramatically, the order of what's next will be Hero Realms or The Ruin of Thandar, followed by First Martians. So that's where we're at right now, unless you keep on voting and changing that opinion. So I'm fine with both those. They look fantastic. And then we have Tomb of Annihilation, the board game, following that up, plus whatever else comes my way. Edge of Humanity by Golden Egg Games. I got so many games I need to get to the table right now. All right, guys, thanks so much. Take care. I will talk to you soon. Please, please do not forget to go check out my Patreon. I'm going to be changing up and adding some rewards to that. You saw the part of the rewards right now is people are getting to pick the games that are coming to the table. And I'm doing that in order of patrons, then subscribers, and then whatever else. So it's mainly just patrons and subscribers at this point. So anyway, I hope that you're seeing all the positive content I'm trying to put out for you guys, and we'll go visit that and find it in your being to give me, send me $5 a month, $10 a month to be able to support and grow this channel. I really appreciate it. I know you got it in you. Anyway, not forcing you to, and I still appreciate, obviously I can't force you to, but I still appreciate everything you're doing. It doesn't change anything. It's just I want to do more, and so much more that I can do for the community if you support me strongly. So thanks. Talk to you next time. Don't forget to check out Doug's Digital Board, where I'm also doing video game playthrough sessions. I'm doing them live, and also doing some live board gaming using things like Tabletop Simulator and apps or programs that emulate board games. I'm doing that there, even though I'm currently posting them on this channel as well as Did You Miss This? Because I want to make sure that you guys who are interested in the board games pieces see that. I played Darkest Night the other night with a friend of mine on Twitch. You can see that posted as a video both on Twitch and on YouTube on both my channels at this point. But eventually, I'm not going to be posting those things on this channel. I just want to make sure that people are able to see that now. All right, guys, thanks. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.